In Brazil, a veterinarian student named Isadora Borges is facing a potential 10-year prison sentence, all because of two posts on social media. Back in 2020, Borges shared her views on gender ideology, stating that biological sex is unchangeable. She was reported to federal police for transphobia by a local politician. Under a 2019 Supreme Court ruling, transphobia is treated as a criminal offense equivalent to racism. Her defense, supported by Alliance Defending Freedom International, argues that this is a major violation of free speech. As her trial begins this week, the case has become a flashpoint for the debate over online censorship in Brazil. And joining us now is Julio Poole, legal counsel for Alliance Defending Freedom International, which is providing legal services to Borges. And thank you so much for joining us. Now, here in the United States, this is unheard of, not having free speech like this. So tell me more about the censorship in Brazil.
Yes, correct. Free speech in Brazil is in danger. We're basically in the dark ages for free speech in the country. Isadora's case is not an exception. There is a real trend of silencing speech. Many people cannot say what they want. Many people cannot say and voice their opinions on matters such as the reality of men and women, a biological reality. This is what happened to Isadora. She spoke on her ex post 5 years ago, and because of that, a transgender politician brought the charges to the police, brought the case to the police, so the police could press charges against Isadora. Now she's facing over potential sentence of up to 10 years in jail just because she said what she believed was the truth. This is really dangerous for Brazil and for the rest of the world as well.
Now, the U.S. Supreme Court has been increasingly hearing cases surrounding gender ideology. Do you think that other countries could soon follow suit on this?
I think they should, but you know what? The problem is not just what the law says, but here is just the prosecutors that want to really punish people for what they say. Here, the punishment is the process, because then it creates a chilling effect in which nobody wants to speak. We have many cases in Brazil. One of those cases is, for example, Pastor Douglas. He wrote a book 3 years ago for his church, Assemblies of God, with over 30 million followers in that church. It was a basic book on what gender ideology is, philosophical foundations, theological foundations, and because of that, he was also brought into charges by the same prosecutors in Brazil. So what happened to Isadora, what happened to Pastor Douglas, what's happening to Nina Borges, also another of our clients from the UK that's suffering the same censorship. They cannot say anything on social media in Brazil because if they say it, then these prosecutors try to apply this law, better said, a decision from the Supreme Court that equates racism to transphobia and homophobia. So this short answer, yes, they should follow what the U.S. is doing, but the reality is that they are not doing it because they also want to censor the citizens so that this truth cannot come to the public.
And Julio, you kind of touched on this a little bit, but where do you think this case might be headed, and what are the implications of this case for the entire Latin American region?
So it's bad precedent for Brazil, bad precedent for the rest of the countries, because first of all, because if we have a court, a Supreme Court, because eventually this might come to the Supreme Court, and if the Supreme Court decides, it will be one of the first instances that we know about of somebody being accused and successfully convicted for homophobia, transphobia, for what they posted online, which in this case, as in Isadora's case and many other people's cases, is not even an insult to somebody. Her posts were not directed to any person in particular. They were just mere opinions criticizing, or better said, theorizing on what Simone de Beauvoir said on one of her books when she said talking about sex and gender on Simone de Beauvoir's writings. So it's just basically opinions, a theoretical level, philosophical level, and if that can be punished, you can imagine what they can do.
Sure. Well, Julio, thank you so much for joining us. Boy, I tell you, we're going to be following this case very closely.
Thank you.